Okay, back in the forest. It's the 10th of June 2023. Just taking the dog, Labrador, for a nice walk around the forest. Beautiful day. Going to get to 28 degrees later on this afternoon, but absolutely beautiful day. You're going to hear him panting in the background. But yeah, update. Finally, I can give an update. Okay, so the book is completed. It's ready to be published. Publication date is the 15th of June, which is next week. There's a launch date of the 21st of June, which is the summer solstice, but you can pre-order now on Amazon. So it's been a long time in the making, but I'm relieved to say that it is now completed and ready for distribution, or it will be very soon. What can I say? Well, it was a rush to get it completed. As you're aware, I tried lots of different avenues in order to get the message out there, and there was a lot of resistance, so it fell on my shoulders to get it done. And because a number of people have been told, how many people would that have then been told too? So I was in a rush to get it published. So apologies, it's not quite the way I want it, but reading it through, I'm happy that it does get the message out there, and it will give you an idea to the 10 years of research that I've had, and some of the instances and evidence that's been accumulated over the time. Most of it is going to be personal experience, so it's up to you to judge me on what I've written. Does it stack up or not? I'm guessing for the vast majority of people it just won't add up. It won't add up. But all I can say is I've tried to give the most truthful, honest account of what I've been dealing with for the last 10 years. Okay, the outcomes in part 2 are the ones that are really gonna throw a spanner in the works. Okay, so just a brief snippet that you can see from the back cover of the book. You can go on Amazon and have a look. But the one of the things I raise is here we go. And trying to keep it as very British as possible. This is going to turn a few heads. Okay, so what has William Shakespeare from the 1500s, what has he got to do with Bigfoot? Okay. yeah, it gets far more complex than that. Again, Charles Dickens, he gets a look in, but all will be revealed in the book. And there's another one that is really gonna rock the boat, because it relates to one of, if not the most famous fictional character from around the world. He comes under the spotlight, well, under the hand lens in fact, and I can give a different opinion backed up by my research as to them not being fictional but being a real entity. Historical, okay, historical, but there you go. Right, well, next week, I think you can download it from next week onwards as an ebook, but the book itself, because it's still new and going through to print stage, I think the earliest you can get a copy is the 10th of July. But what I intend to do is to get a load of copies for myself, and if you want a signed copy or anything like that, then I will be making those available. Where will I be making it available? Some people might already know about me. If you go on eBay, you can find Bigfoot's Cabin. Okay, I sell a few books and replica footprints from different parts of the world, and that subsidises my research here. So that's where I will be selling it. And if you fancy anything else related to Bigfoot, then that's the place to have a look. Not much on there, but I hope to improve on that. But yeah, that helps support my my research here. So thanks for any contribution there. But the title, what is the title? Now, as you probably appreciate, with the forest people that I've been dealing with, it's a little bit tricky to define them in the manner that we would try to do with any other organism on this planet, because they don't fit into that. They really don't. So the title of the book is Bigfoot. It's a fairy tale. Now, as you can imagine, a fairy tale is exactly that. It's a made-up story. It's related to a myth. So what are we saying? Is Bigfoot pure myth, a fairy tale? But as you'd appreciate, with all the mind speak that I've had, it's always been a riddle, or a double response to a question that you ask. So hence why I put it's a fairy tale, because it also touches upon some historical references to fairies. All right, so is it a fairy tale, or is it a tale that also incorporates fairies? Oh my gosh, have I just gone mad? Well, you be the judge. You go read the book and then work things out for yourself. There's references there, and there's further references for you to follow up on. But yeah, and I have to say, after reading the book, is Christmas going to be the same for you? I don't know. All I can say is, for me, it's made it far more magical. Absolutely far more magical. So I think a lot of people, it's going to appeal to them, and it's going to make a lot of people happy. Once you get over the initial shock, I guess. But yeah, so that's the book, Bigfoot. It's a fairy tale, and you'll see that the author's name is there, me, so I can reveal my name. It's Paul. Here's my Labrador, Toby, who's absolutely panting his heart out at the moment because it's so hot, but he's had a lovely walk. So yeah, all will be revealed very, very soon. And as a result of doing this book, if it pays for itself, or adds a little bit extra, then the intention is to do a book 2 that actually digs deeper onto this, but also I can spend a lot more time in actually trying to write it. As I say, it only took me 3 months to get this one together, so it was a rush, but hopefully the message still comes across, and the whole 10 years of research is covered, because luckily I had the opportunity to create a Facebook group. Initially started off with a Facebook group related to the physical, so the Bigfoot being some sort of a missing link, and then the evidence took me somewhere else. So there was a secondary Facebook group that only a small number of people were part of, that looked into the paranormal or metaphysical type of experiences. And that's where we're going now. That's where we still are. You know, you can't, if the evidence takes you in a certain way, you've got no choice but to follow where the evidence takes you, and there's no going back to it being a pure physical form of being. I'm going to say being, because they are people. They're far more advanced than us. Okay, but what we need to understand is that they've been here on this planet for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Well, I know they've been here thousands of years. So yeah, have we got to fear them? Well, no. The ones I'm dealing with, no. As long as you show them respect and you can try and establish the boundaries, and that sometimes becomes a bit of a problem area. But they certainly let you know if you cross those boundaries. Then you've got nothing to fear. They are wonderful forest folk. Forget about Bigfoot. I think it's more a case of big brains. So, and are they here with me now? Well, I'm pleased to say that they are. There's one standing right over there, and the one that you're going to hear about in the book is right here, next to this tree, right here, right in front of me, literally 6 feet away. So yeah, you can see nothing. I know, but I can see. That's because the way you actually visualize them is like a clear pane of glass with a little bit of a shimmer going through it, so you can see through it. But if you move your eyes backwards and forwards, you can see a bit of a vibration. I think vibration's the word to use, actually. And you can see that they're there. So I'm standing literally 6 feet away from one of them, one of the main characters from the book. So that's how far we've come. So anyway, right, am I completely mad? Buy the book, read it, live through the experiences that I've had, work it out for yourself. Why would I go to this extent to actually do all of this and then write a book about it, and then in part 2 come up with things that is really going to test your understanding and your beliefs and things that you've grown up understanding from childhood. They are going to be tested. So I make no apologies if it changes your whole outlook on life and on the forest people, but I find it absolutely rewarding and wonderful. And to think that we are not alone in this vast universe, and we're not alone on this particular planet, it's incredible. So on that note, I'll leave it for now, but yeah, buy the book and encourage other people to buy the book, because the more people that understand the messages that come through from the book, I think that there's a greater possibility that we can move forward and develop a better connection with these forest people. One thing to add, and this is something that is covered by the book, is that, only briefly though, the forest people are one set of people. There are others, okay? In the UK, it's these guys who are here, and they're all around the world. All around the world. They can travel all around the world if they want to. But yeah, I'll wrap it up there and just say I'm really, really happy. I'm going to get some flack. Oh yeah, well, regardless, I've been getting flack on YouTube for years on the whole idea that Bigfoot have been here in the UK to date. Okay, well, I think that subject's been closed. Never got any apologies from people that poo-pooed it. So this is a major step forward. As if, you know, Bigfoot in the UK was not a major step forward in its own right. But yeah, this is a major step forward. So I just want to say that people have their own beliefs, and I respect that. That's based upon either the way they've been brought up, or from their own experience, or understanding, or research, or readings. What I'm saying is, based upon what I found, it leaves the door open for people to go have a bit more of an open mind and go do a bit of digging for themselves, and even go get that experience of dealing with these forest people for themselves. How did I get 300 orbs, you know, balls of light, 300 of them, all within a few feet of me? How? Well, that will be revealed in the book, and it will give other people the opportunity to try to build up that level of trust and connection with a clan of these forest people for themselves, and have that experience of witnessing 300 orbs. In fact, you only need to see one orb to actually appreciate what you're dealing with. But to see 300 within close proximity to you, that's on a different scale. But I'm going to give the reader the opportunity to understand how to make that connection, and the bit of kit that will help achieve that. Okay, so I think the door is wide open now to for the Bigfoot world to take a different approach, rather than calling the woo-sayers as misfits and mad people, for them to then say, okay, you've been pioneers in this, and we turned our backs on it. Time for reconciliation, and for us to all move forward, trying to unlock some of the other keys to understanding these forest people. I'm doing as best I can, but with minimal budget and minimal time. I'm quite happy to say I think I've achieved quite a bit. But you be the judge. Get the book and have a good read for yourselves, and it firmly puts the UK on the map for the Bigfoot research. As I say, Shakespeare. How in the hell do you get Shakespeare involved in Bigfoot? Well, get the book and you'll see. Alright, over and out for now. Thanks.